A reading from the Gospel of Mark. As Jesus taught, he said, "Beware of the scribes, who like to walk around in long robes and to be greeted with respect in the marketplaces, and to have the best seats in the synagogues and places of honors at banquets. They devour widows' houses and for the sake of appearances say long prayers. They will receive the greater condemnation." He sat down opposite the treasury and watched the crowd putting money into the treasury. Many rich people put in large sums, and a poor widow came and put in 2 small copper coins, which are worth a penny. Then he called his disciples and said to them, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put in more than all those who are contributing to the treasury. For all of them have contributed out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, has put in everything she had, all she had to live on." Well, as we continue in the final days of this, our topical lectionary, I am delighted to see that they have kept this woman at the center of Jesus' gaze. They have kept her at the center of the story. And I believe that the topic for today is a woman's offering. This is important to me, and if you've heard me preach for a while, you'll know that if you've come across me preaching on this text, that it bothers me that this is one of the few stories where a woman is actually at the center of Jesus' gaze, at the center of his storytelling, and really is being valorized for her spiritual acumen and faithful response. And it can be the tendency of our modern scholars to want to take the focus off of the widow and focus on the society that would allow a woman who has nothing to feel pressured somehow to give her money up and kind of give all that she had and give her life away, really voluntarily end her life by just giving up and giving her money to the community of faith. And then it goes on to critique what kind of world we live in. And while that is interesting to me, in this proclamation of the gospel, Jesus says, look at this woman, look at this widow and what she is doing. I want you to come look at her, because as we've been sitting and, idly watching what goes on across the street here at the Treasury, I want you to, along with me, notice that the person who comes up with the tiny gift and offers it is in fact the one who is giving the greatest gift, and it's because it's out of her poverty. She is fearless. She gives everything she has. She holds nothing back, and she expects that God will do something with that offering. Just a reminder that in Jesus' day, in this time, the temple was the social service agency really for the community. There was no Red Cross, there was no United Way, no YMCA or YWCA. There was the temple, which provided, out of the great ethic of the Jewish people, provided for the poor, for the widows, the orphans. It was the social service agency of its time. And this woman, who no doubt was dependent on such things and the kindness of others for her livelihood, she finds dignity in giving what she has to a cause she believes in. And we should never aim to take the agency away from, of all people, the poor, those who have a smaller number of ways to express agency often. And so to take away that agency and focus on the big bad society is not helpful in this case. Jesus says, look at her. And so as you and I do that this morning and look at this widow, what do we see? We see a person of faith who probably thinks, I don't have much to give. I can't see how this could possibly help, but I'm giving because it's what I feel called to do. And I believe in what the temple and the temple fund is doing. And I am giving of what I have, regardless of the fact that I don't have 2 nickels or 2 pennies or 2 copper coins now to rub together. I am placing my whole faith, my whole trust in God. How does that ring in your soul and your spirit this day? Maybe your challenge isn't your physical well-being or your financial well-being. Maybe your challenge today is your spiritual and your psychological well-being. Maybe you're feeling challenged by the contours of our common life, and in this time finding a hard time. Maybe you are giving out of a poverty of confidence in God's work in this world, God's ability to bring us as people of God in the church through these times in safety. Maybe you have a poverty of confidence or hope in how things are going in a broader sense in our culture. If that's you, Jesus is saying, look at this woman. She's giving out of her poverty. There's something important about, even when our confidence is shaken, when our reserves of hope are low, to nonetheless dig deep and find those coins in the couch and bring them to God and say, God, I don't see how, but I am confident and I have hope that you will prevail in our time. I have confidence that you will, through your church and through all of the ways that you draw human beings into your near presence and into your more deeply into your heart. I believe that what I contribute out of my poverty, out of the meagerness of my confidence, that I will give that to this greater good, and you will make something of that. So I invite you to look in your own heart, your own life today, and find the places where maybe you don't have much more than a couple of coins to rub together, and to offer that to God and to ask to have confidence in God's ability to take that offering, meager though it be, and transform it into something that works for the common good, that works for to strengthen the people whom God has come to save. So I hope that you find this a fruitful reflection. I hope you will keep the woman and her offering at the center of your prayer and at your meditation today. And know that as we go from this, that God blesses you this day, and may God bless you and keep you this day and always. Amen.